Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us on your program, Champions Digest. We are so happy and privileged today to have with us someone special to me, a friend. That's the 1 year mandatory NYC program of Nigeria. God used that to bring us together. And it's been a wonderful journey since the year 2009 till date. This is my friend, a businessman to the core, Ayobami Osesina. I hope I pronounced that right.
You are trying. Oseshino.
Osesina, yes. Thank you very much for coming on board, sir. So glad to have you around. Mm,
I'm happy you happy.
thank you very much. Yeah. Our discussion today is a very important one. It centers around owning your choices, embracing responsibilities on the journey to greatness. But before we discuss this, I would like you to tell us something about you that you like our audience to know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayodele.
Yeah,
It is good to be here on your platform.
thank
And I
you.
think it's a wonderful thing that you bring. It's a thing that will impact not just yourself, but this generation and the generations to come,
Mm,
most especially on the topic that you have chosen.
mm,
And you have invited me to speak on today. As you have said, my name is Chinayo. I'm a humble person. I'm a businessman.
yes.
I'm into a little bit of DevOps.
Mm.
So apart from me doing business, I try to branch into other aspects that I didn't study in school in IT to keep myself abreast and then
Interesting.
to be able to be a feasible person when it comes to other opportunities.
Mm,
Because when opportunity comes, you are either ready
mm,
or it goes. So
mm.
that's just a little I'll tell you about myself. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. DevOps, interesting. We'll touch down on that. Now, I remember when many of us left NYC and we are building up our CVs, trying to look for a job. I don't think you were in that kind of mode then. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I was.
Because,
Yeah, I
okay,
was. When we were doing the NYC,
okay.
I did this the course we all did National Institute of Management and I
Yes,
just to boost my CV then.
yes.
And even after that, I still did Oracle. I
Oh,
did database.
oh, okay.
Yes. So database management. I have a certificate in Oracle database management. I have SQL certification too. Although I didn't use all of that, I just went straight into business. But yes,
Yes.
I was also in the bandwagon of job searching.
Yes. Okay, but now why the choice of going straight into business? I think I want to start on that note today. Can you share with us? Mm,
Well, on the note of my business and adventure, I didn't jump straight into business. If you remember, I gave you a link to a job there. That
yeah.
was my first venture. So I got a job, but I all through the time I spent, I didn't feel fulfilled at all. I
Mm,
didn't like the way I was being treated. I
mm,
didn't see any real addition that I was adding to the organization. So I just had to quit.
mm.
But business is something that I was born into. My
Beautiful.
parents are business people and they're
Mm,
successful.
mm.
So I didn't go into business to work per se. I went there to learn. So,
Beautiful.
and I spent a great deal of time learning the trade. So
Mm.
let's say after NYC, I spent about 4 or 5 years working for
Wow.
my parents, where my mates were working in banks, working everywhere, and I was earning zero. I
Mm.
was
Are you sure?
living with my parents. I was eating their food. They
Wow.
were clothing me,
Mm,
but I was learning business. So
mm,
because I didn't take it as learning clothes trading because my parents sell clothes. I was
Beautiful.
learning business. So when I know I've learned it, I believe in myself that I have not learned clothing. I have learned to do any business that I want to do and succeed in it. Because
Mm,
all the different departments of doing a business, all the challenges, I understand it. So
mm,
although each industry differ, but the approach to business is always the same.
beautiful. Now, will you say that was a good choice?
Thank you. Okay.
All right. I'm not sure you had my question. I said, will you say that decision was a good choice?
Oh, yes. If
Beautiful.
I've ever made a choice, it's one of the best choices I've made. Yes, apart from marrying my wife, of
Mm.
course.
That's a good one. Now, since we are talking about that subject today, now let me begin by asking this question. What does it mean to own your own choices?
Well, the subject of owning your own choices, I want to attach it with the subject of maturity
Okay.
because owning your own choices make it means taking responsibility
Mm,
for the things you do and their consequences
mm,
that follow after.
beautiful.
Stephen Covey said, we can choose our actions,
Mm-hmm.
but we cannot choose the consequences.
Mm,
So before you take an action, understanding the consequence of that action
mm,
and being willing to bear that consequence,
mm,
that I can say is at the core of owning your own choices. Because you can't say you own your choice,
mm,
make a decision, and then other people are bearing the consequences of it for you.
mm,
Or at the end of the day, you have to blame somebody else for the results that you have gotten
mm.
from your hand. So that's why I attach it to maturity. You
That's
can't just create a concept out of thin air and just say, oh, I own my choice.
mm,
But when you own your choice, you have to own the consequences that follow. And it is a topic of decision making.
that's fine.
So how vast are you? How knowledgeable are you in making good decisions?
Mm,
Because no matter at which level of the ladder you start, you have to know this. You are not starting at the top. You are
mm,
going to make mistakes. You are not 100% foolproof decision maker.
mm.
So, are you willing to take the decision based on the available information,
That's fine.
and then whatever comes out of it, following up with those decisions with all of your energy resources, then you own the repercussion. Let me use that word repercussion. I don't want to say the profit because
Okay.
not every time you get the profit,
Mm.
but the repercussion. So the repercussion can be profit, can be loss.
Wow. That's from a business term. Can be profit and can also be a loss. Beautiful. Now, the word maturity. Many people would probably, I don't know, think maybe it has to do with age. I'm sure that is not the dimension you are talking about. Can you just help us break it down? Maturity. You said Tony, your choice is about
Maturity is
maturity. Yes.
maturity has to do with age, and it doesn't have to do with age.
Okay,
There are some things you can only learn it with age.
that's fine.
Yes. But maturity comes mostly with responsibility.
Beautiful.
Children who get exposed to responsibility early mature faster
Mm,
than children who are not well exposed to responsibility.
I
So
agree.
you can have a 10-year-old,
Mm,
the highly matured, highly responsible young lady,
mm,
and you can have a 45-year-old woman who is still acting like a child. So it depends on experience, responsibility, and let me say parental background
mm,
or upbringing.
mm. Wow, that's really nice. Thank you very much. Now, since choice at the end of the day has a repercussion, that can either be a profit or a loss, then I want to also believe that there is a place for accountability. So let me ask this: how can someone cultivate a sense of accountability for their choices?
Okay. First of all, you have to understand this. The highest authority or the highest hierarchy of accountability is your vision and yourself.
Beautiful.
You can have an external figure that you are accountable to,
That's fine.
but at the head of the end of the road, the person you are accountable to is yourself. And the only measure by which you can mark yourself accountable is by measuring whatever is your reality with your vision. So over the past 1 year, I have been in this particular line of action. I
That's
have been in this particular line of business. I've been in this particular line of career. I've been studying this. Now, as at this moment, what have I achieved? I now take all the achievements and now compare it to what my vision is when I started. What do I want to achieve? So accountability is built on that. Because at the end of the day, if you lose, it is your loss. If you gain, it is your loss.
It's fine.
Although there may be some people who may bear part of the consequences, but you will bear the bulk of it. So accountability rests solely on you, measured based on your vision or on your goals. Let me use the word goals. The word vision is usually used as a cliche in religious settings. So, but in the secular setting, we use goals.
Okay.
So goals. So as per your goals, have you achieved it? So that is a question of self-reflection.
That's fine.
Upon yourself, which makes you accountable for yourself. And no matter how much you do it, whether you have an authority figure external to yourself or in yourself, accountability is not possible without that maturity.
That's fine.
Even if somebody is accountable, you are accountable to somebody. It's only if you go to that person that person can say, oh, yes, you have done this, you have not done this. And takes maturity to put yourself under a particular authority. So if you can put yourself under an external authority, which is good, that means you also have the same capacity to put yourself under your own subjection of your goals that you want to achieve. So accountability comes on that note to measure where you are based on your own decisions, not what somebody else did to you, not what environmental factors you have encountered, but based on what you have done. I see Mother Nature as let's say, as a serial killer.
That's serious.
Mother Nature is not there to help you to succeed. Yeah, yes, there is the resources, but it's not going to be handed over to you on a platter of gold. It's as if the entire nature of things is designed to make you fail. So nobody has it on a platter of gold. Maybe some people have it. I'm not that exposed. But so far as I know,
yes,
nobody on a platter of gold. And greatness is not something that is being achieved for you. That's where you started.
That's fine.
Achieving greatness. Nobody achieved greatness for you. You achieve greatness based on on what you do.
Beautiful.
And maybe your biography or your autobiography will determine if you are great based on your achievements. If you understand what I'm saying. So accountability has to be built on a higher authority, whether it is your vision, your goal, or an external figure who is like a mentor.
Wow, that's really nice. Thank you very much for that good explanation. There is always somebody to be accountable to, and it always begins with a higher authority, which can be God, who has given one a purpose, and you who is running that purpose. So that means there is no room to compete with anybody. Because now we see in this generation, many people are like, oh, my friend has done this, my friend has done that, my friend has done this and that. And they try to just do so many things, comparing oneself with another, right? So, but with what you have made us understand, I don't think one should compare himself with another person. All right. So, moving ahead, sir, I want us to be more practical now. Yes, I want you to be more practical with us using some real life scenarios and examples to please explain some of these subjects. Can you share with us a personal experience where taking responsibility now for a mistake or something that did not come out well initially and it later led to something that is positive?
Ah, okay, yes. That is, you see, the thing is that getting an example is
Yes,
just like taking one out of many.
that's right.
Yes, that's just like taking. I, I have made a lot of mistakes in my
Beautiful.
life,
Mm,
and I am happy for all of them.
mm,
In fact, okay, let me share this with you.
that's fine.
In the year 2020, when I set out my yearly goals,
Mm,
one of my goals was to expand my land holdings, to
okay.
buy more pieces of land. So,
All right.
but it came at the time my dad was going to travel.
Mm,
So me and my dad set out on that journey to get the land. You know the way land is here in Nigeria. You
yes.
have to. It's not straightforward. You can't just go to government and do that. So
Yes.
by the time he was traveling,
Mm,
he handed me over to a close friend of his.
mm,
So he told me out, that man, he trusts him and everything. So based on my trust for my dad, I suspended my instincts and my good decision making sense.
mm,
So we went ahead, we got a place. The
mm,
man that was taking me around is the one that brought the surveyor. So before I paid, I told the surveyor, do your due diligence. The surveyor did the due diligence. I
mm.
paid. Now I told him to get the registered copy out. That's where the problem now came.
Wow.
Where is the registered copy? It turns out the land is under government acquisition.
God.
But this is where we all started.
Mm,
So I suspended my instincts and the red flags, if
mm.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
we, we went back. Now, because we did not have to give us another land,
Mm.
it now exposed me more to their family. And the more I saw of the family of the landowners,
Owners.
the
Yeah.
more red flags I was seeing.
Mm,
Like, this is a no-go area. This is a no-go. But I have a little money tied up in it. And then I trusted this person, quote and unquote.
mm.
Long story short, I paid more money to get
Wow.
another land.
Mm.
At the end of the day, I lost everything. And as at then, in 2020, I lost about 1.7 million naira.
Chai.
So at the end of the day, I was paid. I'm
Mm.
a Christian. I'm born again. I
Beautiful.
called God, get my money out for me. I told God to, to
Mm.
avenge me and everything. And the funny thing, nothing happened to them. I keep following him up on social media. I see him, they give him chieftain's title, the people that sold land to me and took the land, nothing. And that's the society we live in. It's justice is not I don't know how to put that.
Well, it's
Just
not well served.
yes.
Mm.
So I had to sit down at a point and do some self-reflection.
That's
So
fine.
where did I get anything wrong?
Mm.
How did I come into this kind of situation?
Mm.
And for my own self-reflection and my own personal journaling, I saw that the place I got it wrong was when I started suspending my own sense of good reason
Mm.
and delegating my thinking and decision making to the third party, the
Mm.
man who was taking me around. So
Mm.
I saw that that was where, in fact, it was not, I didn't blame anybody. I didn't blame my dad. I didn't blame the man. I just guided myself and then got some other money. And You know, as a believer, God will not leave his children
Yes.
without a witness. Got some other money, got another piece of land,
Mm.
started my project.
Wow.
But the lesson to be learned has
Yes.
been learned the hard way.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Very well. Very
So
well.
I learned it the hard way. And two things I actually learned from that
Okay.
is this. First, I learned to trust my judgment.
Mm.
I come to realize that I have a very acute sense of decision making. I know how
Wow.
to make good decisions.
Wow.
And whenever I have an instinct, I
Mm.
should not dismiss it.
Mm.
That's the first thing I learned.
Mm.
The first thing I learned. And I learned it the very hard way.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I learned it the very hard. The second thing I can say I learned is this. When a decision is yours to make,
Yes.
don't delegate it.
Beautiful.
I take advice and I receive opinion, but
Mm.
I don't delegate decisions again.
Beautiful.
So it's put the burden of saying no on my shoulder.
Mm.
So as of today, I can say no to anybody, even
Mm.
if it is, I've not met a president before, but
Mm.
I know what I want. I can say no with a humble and polite spirit to my
Mm.
parents,
Mm.
as well as to my staff,
Mm.
as well as to anybody. You
Mm.
can't make me say yes when I don't have the conviction in me
Mm.
about the validity or the probability of success of a particular thing. So
Mm.
that's one of the major mistakes that I can say yes I have made and learned critically from.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us. And I'm so really impressed and happy with the tips and some of the lessons you have learned from what has happened. Permit me to allow you to please expatiate more on the word don't delegate decision making. At what point
Okay.
will a man come to that reality not to delegate responsibilities, not to delegate decision making, especially on the journey to greatness?
Well, uh, first, we live in a world of social media. So I don't want to take this out of context.
That's fine.
Decision making has to be delegated. Yes. But decision making for yourself, you have to know
Yourself.
when a decision is yours to
Hmm.
make.
That's
There
fine.
are decisions that are not yours to make,
That's fine.
which you can give your opinion on, you can give your advice on,
That's
you
fine.
can delegate it, even under the organogram of your organization,
Hmm.
you can delegate. But whenever a decision is yours to make,
It's yours to make.
you have to, yes, you have to make that decision based on all available information.
Beautiful.
That means receive advice and you receive opinion so
Hmm.
that you will have a robust information base to make a better decision. But whenever there is a saying that says, when there is no more information, it's time to make a decision.
That's fine.
So when you have your information, even though it may be a hard decision, you
Hmm.
make that decision and then you back it up.
Interesting. Thank you very much, sir. You make the decision and you back it up based on available information that comes to mind. I'm so happy with this. We are still navigating the thoughts of owning your choices. I remembered myself that it was at the point in my life that I told myself, "Ayodeji, if you succeed or you lose in life, you don't have anybody to blame." Yes,
Yes.
I took that decision at age, I think probably 16. Yeah, that's 200 level, University of Ilorin. And that has been what is also helping and guiding me up till now. Now, I also discovered
That's
that
great.
in this journey to greatness, many people are bound by excuses. They try to blame others, right? They try to blame others. How can an individual overcome this temptation of trying to shift responsibilities? If the economy had been good, probably my life would have been better. If my brother had helped me, probably things would have worked well for me, among other things. All right, but many people are trying to shift blame. to others, right? So how can people overcome that and own their responsibility? Thank you.
Thank you, Ayo, for that particular question.
Yes.
First, you have to understand that every great man was forged in the furnace of affliction.
Mm,
Every great man.
mm,
Every man in this world that ever has been called great. From
mm,
our whole Obafemi Awolowo to Martin Luther King
mm,
Jr. to all our scriptural examples,
mm,
there is no man called great who was born in times of ease, who
mm,
was born in time of uh, reckless abundance.
mm.
The thing that makes people great is by problem solving.
Beautiful. Mm,
So the harder the problem you solve, the greater your name will be.
that's fine.
That's just it. Now, as you have said, from a very early age, you were exposed to that.
Mm,
Me, I have the advantage in the form of a brother, my immediate brother, Brother
okay.
Kunle. When
Okay.
he was in school, when he was in school in Lautech, he went to a particular church, and the pastor there was Pastor Purede Pumaya. So whenever he's coming back home, he will bring those CDs.
That's fine.
And those CDs, yes, I listened to those CDs, over 45 of them. I
Hmm.
can say I've listened to each and every one of them over the years now, probably maybe 250 times each.
Wow.
One of the things that was in that message is this, and that's from those years back. He
That's
said,
fine.
aside all complaint, it's not just blaming, complain,
Mm,
excuses,
mm,
and what? And blaming.
mm,
Those three things, the killers
mm,
of every great destiny. No
mm,
matter how great potential a person may have, the
mm,
moment you see yourself engaging in those things,
mm,
that means you have already spoiled the process.
mm.
Because at the time when you are blaming, that means something has spoiled.
Yes.
And the time you are complaining, that means something is spoiling.
Mm,
So it's not about what is going on the outside.
okay.
It is about what is going on the inside.
Mm,
People win races first in their hearts before they win it on the outside.
mm.
Now, I have to say this,
Okay.
and it's not going to be a kind word.
Mm,
Greatness is not for everybody.
interesting.
Greatness is not for everybody. There are people who are comfortable
Mm,
as average people. They
mm,
live, they see, and they die.
mm,
That's not a problem.
mm,
But for anyone who even dare a little for the stint of greatness, you
mm,
have to understand that nature is not there to give you a open space.
mm.
People that are doing evil will not leave their eyes open and see you doing good to spoil their evil.
Mm,
Bob Marley said something. He said the people trying to destroy this world are not taking a day off. Why
that's
should I?
mm,
So if you know you want to achieve something of worth, it
mm,
doesn't have to be of a global scale.
that's fine.
Greatness can be on a small scale,
Mm,
helping your community, helping your family,
mm,
helping your children to become better persons than you, trying to live a better society
mm,
for your children and the next generation than the one you met.
mm,
So that on its own takes personal responsibility. So if we are going to build it on the platform of blaming, we are not going to go anywhere.
that's
You
fine.
just have to keep repeating classes. You just have to keep repeating classes.
Mm.
Imagine a student that says, oh, this is why I failed. The reason you failed does not mean they will promote you.
At all.
Exactly. So what you have to do is to strive first, not to fail. That is ordinary. Now, to strive to be the first, you understand that's a competition.
Mm.
If you understand what I'm saying. So
Very well.
if you have something of note to do, was put aside complaining, Put aside blaming, put aside all excuses, and shoulder full responsibility for the outcome of your life. There is no other two-way to say it. There's no other parable you can use to put it, but to just say straight up. Take full responsibility for the outcome of your life. When things don't turn out the way you want, observe, reflect on the things you have done, and then take corrections, make adjustment. Don't try to do the same thing and expect a different result. Change, then try and achieve for something greater.
Wow, this is nice. Thank you very much. I discovered, and I know you know also that maybe one of the reasons why some people don't really want to take responsibilities is because of challenges. Yeah, and you briefly mentioned that in your line of thought earlier, because the world, there are so many setbacks. We want to try this, it's not working out, so they give up. I want to try this business, I'm not getting results, I try to give up, and people keep shifting blades. So I would like you to please shed some light on how can one embrace responsibilities contributing to building resilience, especially in the face of challenges.
Well, I have to put it this way.
All right.
You have to own your own mistakes.
Okay.
You have to own your own mistakes. That's first level of responsibility any person can take.
Beautiful.
You first own up to the mistakes you have made, because if you haven't yet owned up to it, you can't learn from it. Unless you have actually owned up to your mistakes and taken responsibility for it, that's when the process of advancement can come. So I wanted to make an analogy.
All right.
In scriptures, sorry, I have to use this. Bible is a very integral part of me. So,
fine. Allowed.
There is an incident that happened. A city of Samaria was under siege. There was famine. People were already dying. That's a concept. But there were us. If you know the story, they said, "We are here. We are suffering. We are about to die. It's better for us to take the chance of going out. If there can be any opportunity for us that we are going to engage the risk of facing the enemy, even if beg them or one way or the other, that we are going to go and then get food from them." And then they took steps. They left where they were, which is a comfort zone. And then they took to overcome whatever the challenges they may be. Now, understand, they took those steps without a definite knowledge of what will happen.
Yes.
They, we perish. Here, we are perishing. But let us go. They took personal responsibility. They didn't go to the king. They didn't go to the soldiers. They said, let us go there. And God used their confidence, even taking steps, as a miracle. By the time they got there, they had fled, living an immeasurable level of food. Well, the Bible says they ate, they kept, they said, at this point in time, we have already gathered more than enough. Let us tell the people. So if you say you are afraid of taking responsibility because of challenges, understand this: challenge is part of life. Whether you take responsibility or not, you are going to face those. But I think it is better for you to choose the challenges you face and your whole battlefield, rather than have it fostered on you when you will not have a choice. So is an ideology of being ready, of readiness and willingness to take on the challenges that may come. So it's like setting out a plan so that the year will not happen to you, so that it is you that will happen to the year.
That's fine.
So even though things will not go according to your plan, in that example that I gave you, things didn't go according to their plan. They were going there to beg. By the end of the day, they gave the salvation of an entire city.
Yes.
So even though things will not go according to, you still have a plan to adjust.
This is really nice. Thank you.
So that is one of, okay.
All right. No, please go ahead. I think you still have more. That is one. So is there any other one?
That is just one of the many things.
Okay.
That's just one of the many things you see that you can see that breaks the limitations of challenges. And the truth of the matter is it, when you start on this journey of greatness, the challenges at a particular point in time become very sweet to you. You begin to expect it, you anticipate it, you enjoy challenges. At a point in time, let me see, when you are taking baby steps, I see you. When you are taking baby steps,
yes,
you are afraid, challenges are coming, you are complaining, even you complain, oh, this thing has happened again. Now, okay, like for instance, prices are going up in Nigeria and everything. Yes, I can complain, but there are some people who have taken advantage of it so that the high prices is profits to them. So assuming that you have, hello?
I'm with you, 100%.
Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so assuming you are, okay, assuming you have built a 6 flats, 2 bedroom each 4 years ago, when cement was what? 2,000, 2,500. Now, house rent is going upward of 650, 700.
Wow.
Some people are complaining, but what are you doing? The person that have built that is not complaining
at all.
Is the person jacking up the rent? If you understand what I'm saying.
100%.
So it depends on how your readiness. If you have embraced certain levels of discomfort, of problem, at the point in time when those challenges come, you are happy, no problem. Because you have what? You have built the stamina. You have already taken the baby steps. You are now taking the giant leaps. So challenge is not designed to break us. It is designed to make us into something. And that something, quote and unquote, is what people in different segments of life call destiny.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Thank you very much. There's this part that you said that got me smiling, enjoying challenges. So a man can get to a stage that he will begin to enjoy challenges. Interesting. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on this. Before you give us your parting words today, I would like you to touch down on this. There's a place for balancing freedom and responsibility. And I would like you to help us. How can someone strike a balance between exercising the freedom of choice and taking responsibility for one's choices and the outcomes? Thank you.
Okay. For that particular question, I'm going to borrow the wisdom of Pastor Pojuki Madi.
All right.
He once gave a sermon which struck me and which stuck with me over a long time. He said, when you are single, you can make the decisions that you want.
Okay.
But whenever you know that a particular decision you are going to make, you are not the only person that will bear the consequences of it. You have a responsibility not to take decisions from other people, but to seek their opinion and hear their perspective before you make that decision. Yes, as a young adult, your life is yours. But if you have a car crash, you will not bury yourself. Some people will bury you. And probably you have a parent. There will be money. And you are already an investment. They have invested a lot of time, a lot of emotion, a lot of funds to make you into somebody. And you are probably their retirement plan. So you have to consider a lot of things. You are free, yes, but freedom came at a cost. Who paid the cost? So you cannot say, oh, I can go and make, okay, you can go and make decisions on your own. You can go and live on your own. You even have a job and you are getting very fat salary. You can live on your own. Now you have gone and live on your own. You are now pregnant out of wedlock. The person you are pregnant for is not taking responsibility for it. You have to understand that that decision, which is yours to make, is having impacts on some other third parties. It will be highly responsible of you to make decisions of yourself, which will have impact on other people without considering them first, without considering them, not necessarily first, or seeking to know their opinion on a particular issue. It's not necessarily that you take the opinion of those people, but those opinions will give you a measured ground for you to make a better decision. So that's what I can say on balancing freedom and decision making.
Thank you very much, AY, for sharing your thoughts today on owning your decisions. Sincerely yours, it's really been an engaging time. Yeah. But I already told you that that was my last question. But as we are speaking now, a thought just came to my mind, which I would like you to address. Someone is out there who has made a mistake, right? From the past choices. How can such reconnect again? How can such rediscover him or herself, especially in fulfilling purpose?
Oh, okay. First, there is a proverb that says, it is no use crying over spilled milk.
That's fine.
The milk is spilled. Stop beating yourself up. Pick yourself up. Time is the measure of destiny.
That's fine.
So the time you spend whining, blaming yourself, being down is time wasted. Yes, you have made a mistake. Own up to it. If there is something you can do, it's not all mistakes that we can correct. If there's something you can do to correct it, correct it. If there's nothing you can do to correct it, it will live with you. But use that as a background to make better decisions going forward. We have spoken about a lot of things you can do to go forward over this session. You can engage any one of them. But I will say this, invest in literature. Invest in literature. Invest in literature. Be a lifetime student. Continue to learn. Continue to learn. Continue to learn. Continue to learn. Never stop learning. My father in the Lord, Bishop David, he said a long time ago in his life, he decided in his life he's not going to approach anything with common sense. So if you have already made a mistake, understand that you have made a mistake, see the mistake, know where you made those mistakes. It's not just that, oh, this thing failed, that's failed. No, what did I do that made it to flop? If you say, okay, it is not what you did that made it to flop, it is what another person did that made it to flop. How come I got associated with that person in the first place? Because association is your choice.
Yes.
Association is your choice. Nobody forced you to be a part of that thing. Nobody forced you to take that partner. Nobody forced you to do business with that person. So you have to understand, if I did business with this person, and this person is the person that didn't hold up his own end of the bargain, and it made it to fail, what are the things that I should have seen in A that were red flags that means it was unresponsible? That helps you in your future association, in the people you want to move with. And association plays a big role in our life. The people you associate with will determine how far you go, how high you will go. So you have made a mistake, don't beat yourself up.
That's fine.
And as a word of note, I will say this. There are some things human intelligence cannot solve.
That's fine.
You can go to Jesus.
Beautiful.
Jesus is always a sure way you can go to. for
Beautiful.
every issue of life. Look, you can go to Harvard, you
Mm.
can work in Microsoft, you can have all the money in this world, but there are questions that remain unanswered out of Jesus.
That's right.
Until you come into Jesus Christ,
Mm.
those questions remain unanswered.
Mm.
Those emotions remain unresolved.
Right.
There's something called the joy of salvation. The joy of salvation takes away the guilt and the burden of sin.
Man.
So Jesus should not be a last resort. He
Mm.
should be a go-to first, the go-to person, the
Mm.
first person you go to for
Mm.
every issue of life. So
Man.
that is just what I can say on that.
This is really beautiful. Thank you very much. I so much appreciate your time. Thank you very much for sharing with us today these inspiring and insightful words that would definitely transform the life of those who are going to listen to this. We are blessed to have you. Thank you.
I'm blessed to have been a part of this. I really appreciate you for this kind of platform. It's very encouraging and it's inspiring when you have people in our generation who are doing such things as you are doing, which I believe will eclipse even over your lifetime, even beyond.
Man.
So if you can change even one person,
Mm.
that person can go ahead and change a family. And you don't know what else multiply effects that can have. It is great being knowing you. It is great being your friend. From the moment I have become acquainted to you in NYC camp, it has been a blessing to my life.
Yes, thank
Honestly, it has been a blessing to my life. I always say it. We have a co-friend, Peter, and
yes.
I always say it. I the friends that I have, I can count them on one hand. I don't have a lot of friends. I can
Yes.
count them on one hand. And
Yeah.
in fact, I don't think I can count all of them. Even one hand is too much. I have 5 fingers. Yeah. So you are one of them. You
Beautiful.
know, people you associate with, you don't necessarily speak to them every week, every month, but
Yes.
whenever you interact with them,
Yeah.
or even the knowledge that you have them in your life that you can always call them, is it gives you some kind of bubbling in your spirit.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, my friend, my wonderful friend. And we are coming
Thank
back
you.
again to discuss more on this
Well,
topic.
with the wisdom of God, we are going to be able to proceed with that too.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
God bless you.
Amen.